Hey guys, a bunch of you sent me that Napoleon Blownapart, the fake fighting fantasy of Frank Dux video, and I don't know if the title gave it away, but he does not believe Frank Dux fought in the Kumite. But at the end of that video, he proposed 5 questions. He said, if the Kumite is real, then... I thought it'd be fun to address each of those 5 questions, going through my archived Frank Dux interview footage and also things that I know from my own research and discussions I've had, so we're going to answer those. And then you guys can decide for yourself whether you think the Kumite was real or not. So make sure to comment below. So whether you believe it was or it wasn't, there's one thing I'm sure we can all agree on, is that Ali looks amazing in his Hawaiian shirt.
Why has no other Kumite winner ever spoken about the competition? In its hundreds of years of existence, surely someone other than Frank would have been allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, that's a really good question as far as why no other winner has ever come forward, but a lot of people will even say, why hasn't anybody come forward? If you go to Bloodsport.com, it mentions that Big Jim McCune and David German had actually come forward, and Dr. Lawrence Day declared to be at Frank's corner at the Kumite. So as far as Big Jim McCune, which it's spelled McCune on FrankDuxBloodsport.com, but it's spelled McCunn, McCunn, on officialFrankDukes.com and elsewhere. So who knows what the guy's actual name is. He did unfortunately pass in July 2017, so nobody can ask him now. As far as David German, I can't really find any info on him. Frank did tell me, though, that Paco Prieto, who you would know as Silvario in Only the Strong and the Tarzan-looking guy in Lionheart, actually fought in the Kumite and that they were going to fight each other. Funny enough, I asked Paco about that. He said that you actually fought in underground fights in Mexico, like so-called Kumite matches.
Paco was Mexico's Kumite champion. He not only that, we almost ended up fighting each other.
Is that true at all? Anyway, you guys can watch that entire video. It's worth watching, talking about the Mexican Kumite. Linked in the description below, but yeah, check that video out sometime.
If Frank is 329-0, how come none of his 329 opponents have ever been found?
It's definitely one of the world's great mysteries. You know, funny enough, Frank is out there, and he said Ron Van Cleef fought Bolo, well, not Bolo, but the real Chong Li in the Kumite, and maybe there's footage of that. I am going to ask Ron Van Cleef. Like, I'm going to actually, funny enough, work with him next month on Warrior Island. It's going to be great. And I did very briefly meet him last year at the Arnold Expo, but I'm going to have a lot more time to sit down and talk with him, and we're going to find out about the real Chong Li and the Kumite.
If he competed in the 1980 Kumite as he claimed, then how come his record never changed from 329-0?
Well, actually, he's not 329-0. I got the exclusive on my channel with him talking about his one loss. So anyway, if you guys like this kind of content, man, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Who else is giving you this kind of stuff? I think you referenced you did lose one fight. Is that true?
Yeah, it was my amateur. They didn't count it. They said I actually had one fight loss, and it was seven draws. Okay.
You actually had 7 draws, but you had 1 loss. Let's talk about that one loss, though. I'm curious.
The one loss was when I was taken down to Tijuana. I was 16 years old. It was my first
so you
fight.
were like 16. Wow.
That's why they didn't count it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
The other guy was over 18 then? He was an adult? The guy you fought?
Yeah, the other fights I had were when I was an adult.
No, real quick. The guy you fought when you were 16, was he an adult and you were minor?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What happened, though, in that fight? This is like history, man. Like, you have all the wins in the world, but just, if you don't mind talking about that one loss.
Okay, the fight was what they call in Kumite, when you train a Kumite fighter. I don't know if I want to tell this. Well, I'm going to tell him. What the heck? I'm retiring.
Yeah, there's no shame in that. It makes you more human.
I don't want to give it away because it's a training secret, but I'm going to give it away.
Oh, cool. I encourage you to do yourselves a favor and watch that video linked in the description below. But of course, make sure to finish this one first.
Frank claimed he set a record for fastest kick at 72 miles per hour, but how was it even possible for video cameras in the 1970s to measure the speed of kicks so accurately when they absolutely didn't have that kind of technology back then?
Okay, and this relates to the info they put at the end of Bloodsport. You know, fastest knockout 3.2 seconds, fastest punch with a knockout 0.12 seconds, fastest kick 72 miles per hour. So in the Black Belt magazine article, though, apparently they were filming this stuff so they could study it, right?
Yeah, there was film footage of it, and the way they made those determinations was by frame speed. They basically would count the frames, and they knew how fast the frames were moving, and then based on the frame speed and looking at the contact, that's how they came up with those numbers.
Yeah, which, you know, and I've said in prior videos, that's what always kind of threw me off, like how would they measure it? But I could see where you're going with the film speed and measuring the frames and everything, but...
Yeah.
And even if it was all recorded by high-speed cameras, why has none of that footage ever surfaced?
This footage has to be out there somewhere, right?
Well, it has been. There's people... This footage will become exceptionally valuable, not today. When I'm dead, that's when people are going to want to pay big money for it.
And do you think it will actually come out someday when you're done?
I would hope so.
Oh, wait, I apologize. Footage of the Kumite does exist. Frank silenced all his doubters when he released the shockingly real, unquestionable footage proving once and for all that the Kumite was real. But unfortunately, the resulting video is so low resolution and monochromatic that Frank could claim to be fighting a mirror match against himself, and you'd have a hard time disproving it.
Look, some footage of me has come out, and people say, "Oh, it's this person or it's that person." And you can look in the film.
Real quick, Frank. So I did want to bring that up. That they're saying that one YouTube video that came out years ago is a dude named Philip Catteray. Was that Philip Catteray, or was that actually you?
I didn't film it. I wasn't a part of it, okay? And people, look, a lot of times we have people look very much like us, okay?
Sure.
But here's the thing that works in my favor, and I want to say this. They tried to out me, okay? And they ran it under facial recognition software.
Oh,
okay?
Interesting.
Okay, yeah. What they don't tell you is it came back me. Like 98 point something points.
So that
I'm just trying to tell you. They ran they looked at the footage and they blew it up, and you can do a pixel count. Mm-hmm. And you can do, based on the number of pixels, and you look at those pixels, and this is all forensic investigation, okay? You can tell forensically that footage is 1980. Catteray didn't appear on the scene until 1986. If you look at the Fuji symbol in the background, they were saying and lying, "Oh, it's from 1986, therefore Frank Dux couldn't have been, he's lying," right? The symbol wasn't around. No, you can go to Wikipedia, look up Fuji symbols, and you'll see it's from 1980. So that's the only thing I can talk to. Is it me? I can't honestly tell you, because again, I'm not the one who took the footage, and I quite frankly, I fought so many damn matches all over the place. It's a blur to me in many cases. So, I'm being as honest as I can be on this subject. It's easy for me to say, "Yeah, that's me," and then make it a shouting match between me and the other guy.
It's interesting. It's almost like, the footage of Bigfoot or something.
Right.
Like, it might be Bigfoot, it might not. So you don't even know if that's you, but it could be. But nobody could really say it's not. But there is evidence to say, at the minimum, it's probably not even Philip Catteray. If it's not you, it might not even be Philip Catteray either.
That's true too.
Some other dude, or it might be you.
That's true too. What we do know is that it was filmed at the time I was fighting. We do know that, okay? And like I said, Catteray didn't show up in the scene until 1986, from what I understand. I've never seen anything of the guy other than what I've been told by people who claim he was around doing that, and everything on him is like in color. This is black and white footage. There ain't too many people that had black and white cameras around at the time, in 1986. Everybody kind of like dumped them.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying? So I couldn't tell you. You know, I can't tell you. What I can tell you is the forensics point to me. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. That's all I can tell you about it. I'm not, and it's like I said, it's so easy for me, much easier for me to turn around and say, yes, absolutely, that's me. You can see it's me, blah, 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 and push that narrative. But I'm a person that will always say that if it isn't 100% conclusively that I know that for a fact, I'll always leave that room for error.
I like Frank Dux. Frank represents a period in martial arts that can never and will never exist again. A time when you could tell someone that you were a ninja and all you had to do was make a kind of claw shape with your fingers and they'd probably believe you.
But the whole emphasis on me was I was a fake ninja. Here's the irony of the whole thing. I was the one turning around saying nobody's a ninja. It's all fake because there's no such thing as a ninja martial art.
Hey guys, comment below if you want me to make a video on what I really think about Frank Dux.